Hi, I'm Ash, and this is my album cover project. I started this project by listening to The Cure, my chosen artist, specifically their debut album, Three Imaginary Boys. The members of the band at the time was Lowell Polhurst, Michael Dempsey, and Robert Smith. After listening and doing some initial research, I created a mind map depicting some of the key themes and feelings of the album, along with creating a few initial sketches of ideas I had. Next, I worked on the colour scheme I wanted to implement into the album cover. I wanted to use pinks to represent youth, also various greys to represent the themes of loneliness, depression, independence, and emptiness portrayed throughout the album, especially in the title track, Three Imaginary Boys, where Smith sings about what tomorrow brings, deep inside that empty feeling, and footsteps and shadows. I then created my three most promising ideas in Illustrator and Photoshop. I ended up going with the second idea I liked the most and thought it best represented the album. Firstly, I found this image of Smith and used it as underlay to trace around to create the main focus of the album cover. I thought he and his style and hair represented the band, but in the final iteration of the design, giving the character no face, so it relates to the whole audience, portraying those themes of loneliness and emptiness. Once the tracing was done with the pen tool, I then went on to implement the colour scheme that I wanted to use in the poster. I implemented greys and a general skin tone colour for the face. I wanted to add borders to make it look more defined and shadows to represent the other aspect of Three Imaginary Boys. I lined up a few details, and this is kind of at the stage of that final point of the main figure. I then changed the original font I had on the first iteration to something that matched their other album cover titles better. I used the composition rule, the Z layout, to balance the final album cover design. The final album cover design represents the band and their style of gothic rock by portraying the loneliness and emptiness Smith sung about in the album, and connecting to the audience as they too relate, seeing themselves in that blank-faced person on the cover. The abstract shadows represent the dark and gloomy lyrics and overall feel of the album. I created the back cover of the album with an idea that came up in the ideation phase at the start, which was of a diary. The use of the diary represents the imagination of teenagers, and which Smith was only 18 when he wrote this album. The poster was designed with the same principles that we've used throughout, and came out looking very mysterious and engaging and intriguing. Hope you enjoyed watching my process video.